Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Living Beyond Limits. If you do not know, I am Reverend Jennifer Spear. We are a part of Centers for Spiritual Living, and I'm so glad that you came to spend your morning with us and together. And if you are new to us today, from the very bottom of our hearts to yours, we welcome you, and we're so glad that you came to spend your morning with us. And so let's start the service today by reading our mission statement that's on the front of the bulletin. We are a sanctuary where people can discover and reveal the presence of God within their own being and experience their oneness with all life. Through the realization of this inner presence of love and peace, we give way to the evolutionary impulse of the divine and become a beneficial presence in the world. That's what we're here doing at Living Beyond Limits, is we are giving ourselves the opportunity to experience and feel and sense, one, our own spiritual nature, and two, that one infinite and boundless presence that we call Spirit, God, life itself, the divine, the absolute, Buddha mind, Yahweh, whatever you choose to call that presence, that it is always right where we are. And not only is it just right where we are, but it also indwells our own spirit and our own soul. That we are actually here living this spiritual life, walking this spiritual path as a spiritual being having a human experience. That we are here bringing our light and our goodness and our spirit into the world in a way that is beneficial to the whole. What happens is, as we come to recognize our own spiritual nature and that the presence of that infinite one indwells us, that means then whatever we need, we already have within us. That the peace of spirit indwells us, the love of spirit is innate to our own nature, the goodness of God, all of those things are already innate to our beingness. And when we awaken to that, we come to the world differently. We come to the world with more generosity and kindness and compassion and inclusivity. And as we do that, not only do we affect the people that we interact with, but because everything is connected to everything else and everything is part of the whole, we actually affect all of it. And so I say thank you to each and every one of you for answering the call of your own spirit, to be walking this path, to be bringing your light and your love into this world in a way that is beneficial. Thank you to all of you for that. And so, regardless of what it is that's happening in your life, or what it is that's happening in this country, or what is happening in this world, we really want to be able to move through whatever it is that's happening with a sense of trust, with a sense of confidence knowing that everything is going to work out, and not just work out, but that everything will work out for good. We want to have faith in ourselves. We want to have faith in humanity. And we want to have faith in that living spirit that permeates all things. Because when we have faith and trust, then we can move through whatever is happening with a greater sense of peace and well-being. And so last week we began the season for nonviolence. And we talked about that in order to have peace in the world, we must first create peace within ourselves. We can't have peace out there if we don't have peace in here. And that we talked about that there are two ways to create peace within ourselves. And one is to create balance in our lives, and the other one is through self-care. We talked about creating balance and doing self-care, that part of that includes choosing what we take in and how much of the things we take in. We talked about that in order to balance the chaotic things that are going on in the world, that it's important for us actually to do things like be connected to other people, to spend time with people that we love and care about, to do things like spend time in nature, to sing and to dance and to laugh, and of course to do spiritual practice. Because when we are filled up, what happens then is we come to the world with greater kindness. We come to the world with more compassion and more love and more generosity. And when we do that, we create peace around us in our interactions and what we're doing in the world. So you all know that we are living during unprecedented times right now. And in order to create peace in the world and within ourselves, I think one of the things that is required is actually that we stay aware of our most deeply held beliefs, that we stay cognizant of what it is that we know at our deepest level, what it is that we believe in, what it is that we have faith in, that we need to stay aware of that as we're moving through the world and as we're taking everything in. I know it is super easy to focus on the negativity. You know, you remember we all are hardwired with a negativity bias. We are hardwired to pay attention to the things that could be dangerous so that we can stay safe, to pay attention to the outliers so that we can be safe. We're hardwired that way. So it's easy to focus on the negative. It's easy to be afraid when it seems like things are in upheaval or things are chaotic. It is hard to be positive when we are being bombarded by a negative media that is actually fear-driven. And it's hard to feel confident sometimes when things feel really unsettled and when we don't know what to do. Well, there's a story I'd like to share with you. There once was a bunch of tiny frogs. They arranged a running competition. The goal was to reach the top of a very high tower. A big crowd had gathered around the tower to see the race and to cheer on the contestants. The race began. Honestly, no one in the crowd really believed the tiny frogs would reach the top of the tower. You heard such statements as, "Oh, that is way too difficult. They will never make it to the top. Not a chance that they will succeed. That tower is just way too high." One by one, the tiny frogs began collapsing. Except for those with a fresh tempo were climbing higher and higher. The crowd continued to yell, "It's too difficult. No one's gonna make it." And more tiny frogs got tired and they gave up. But one continued higher and higher and higher. The one wouldn't give up. At the end, everyone else had given up climbing the tower except the one tiny frog who, after a big effort, was the only one that reached the top. Then all of the tiny frogs naturally wanted to know how this one frog managed to do it. A contestant asked the tiny frog how the one who succeeded had found the strength to reach the goal. It turned out the winner was deaf. You know, it's not that we can't listen to what's being said out there in the world, because there are some very intelligent people out there that are explaining to us and helping us determine and understand what it is that's happening and why things are happening. But what I believe is really, though, at this time, we are being beckoned to listen to something deeper. To listen to something deeper within ourselves. To listen to the quiet of our own spiritual being. To know the truth, the capital T truth, inside of us where that truth exists. That truth that is unchanging and eternal. That eternal reality that we sense deep down inside. We are called to remain awake and aware and in what we trust in and what we have faith in. Because I know that how we experience life is a reflection of what it is that we believe about spirit, what it is that we believe about life, what it is that we believe about humanity, and what it is that we believe about ourselves. That determines our experience of life. Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of this philosophy, said, "Everyone is looking for security, and we often think the word security means that we have enough money to pay our bills. It does certainly include that, but there is a deeper security than that. The security that comes only through a deep and abiding faith in life, a deep and abiding faith in ourselves, a deep and abiding faith in God. There is no permanent healing of anything in life without a restoration of faith. There is no gratification or feeling of safety without faith." And so the title of my talk today is Dig Deeper. And I'm talking about that we're being called to dig deeper than what is happening in the world. We're being called to dig deeper than our egoic human perceptions of what's happening and our egoic human reactions to what's happening. We're being called to uncover our faith and to bring that to the surface of our conscious awareness so that we are conscious of our faith, conscious of what it is that we believe. Then we will be able to move through those days remembering what it is that we know. Because what happens if we aren't there and if we just live in overwhelm, then we start to feel helpless and we start to feel hopeless. Consciously anchoring ourselves in our faith empowers us. What happens when we are confident and have faith? We recognize that we don't have to fix it all. If we have faith and we can relax in that faith, then is all we have to do is what is ours to do, what our peace is. Because then if we do our piece, we can be part of the solution. And as human beings who are spiritual beings living this human experience, we want to contribute to the good. We want to be able to assist in the betterment of the world. And we, I think, all believe that that's part of the reason we came to this planet, is to contribute, to create good, to uplift things, to make things better, to bring our gifts and our talents and our love and our light to this planet. And so this week I have been journaling about what it is that I know to be true. And I'm not talking about know in my head. What do I really, really know to be true? What do I know to be true from a spiritual standpoint? What do I have faith in? And so you have a little green sheet in your bulletin, and I invite you to take that out. And so I invite you just to close your eyes for a second. And to allow yourself just to kind of rest in your own beingness for a moment. The presence of your own soul. And to ask yourself, what do I have faith in? What do I really have faith in? And to ask yourself, regardless of what is going on, regardless of anything, what do I really trust in? What do I trust at the core of my being? What do I know without a doubt? What do you believe at your deepest level? And to go ahead and write that down. And then to close your eyes one last time. And again, and At my deepest level, what do I know to be true? My deepest level, what do I know to be true? And to write that down. Here's what I wrote, I really do have faith in humanity. That we are creative, that we care about each other, and that we care about the planet. I have faith that we want the best for ourselves and for each other. I really do believe that people are good. I have faith that we will figure out how to fix things. I trust that this, too, is evolving us individually and collectively, that there is a love intelligence that is present in all of it. I have faith in love, and that love is bigger than anything else. I think it's really important to know what we believe, because it doesn't matter what somebody else believes if you don't believe it inside. But this is the time to lean into those things that you believe right now. And so I invite you, whatever those things are that you wrote, for you to put them up where you can be reminded of them, where you can see them on a regular basis. Remind yourself of what it is that you believe and what it is that you know. The truth is, what you know at your deepest level is the voice of spirit within you. It's the voice of your own spirit, your own soul, and that one infinite presence. And that is unwavering. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. That is unwavering within you. And so, when we dwell in our faith, when we dwell in what it is that we know, the overwhelm dissipates. We're not so overwhelmed. Because like I said, what happens is we recognize what is ours to do. Things take on a new perspective when we dwell in our faith, when we live in that trust. And so my faith also tells me that other people are doing what is theirs to do in healing and in restoring and in magnifying the good. My faith tells me that there is a creative solution and a way forward that is being downloaded through humanity, in humanity right now, because there are people that are open to it. There are people that are looking for solutions. That openness creates space for that to be downloaded in humanity. I have faith that there is a principle of intelligence, that there is also a love and intelligence that is downloading itself right now. I have faith in love. Living in faith gives us space in our thinking for a new thought to come forward, a new idea, a new creative solution, a new inspiration, shifts our perspective, and like I said, helps us recognize what our role is. What am I supposed to be doing here? Oh, I'm supposed to be being kind to all the people that I meet. Oh, I'm supposed to be being inclusive. Whatever it is that is yours to do. But it enables us to do the small things that are ours that do make a difference in the world. When we stop holding our breath and we can relax in the moment, we create a greater opening, not just in us, but in the collective consciousness of humanity, because we are all part of the one. We create an opening within ourselves. We create an opening in the whole. For solutions, for answers, for creative ideas. Ernest Holmes, in his book, This Thing Called You, says, the creative law which you use is like a mirror. The thought you hold before it is an image. The mirror reflects the image you hold before it. Hold there, then, the image of faith and expectancy, with enthusiastic conviction and undying trust. The only thing that can hinder you is yourself. The only thing that can help you is yourself. because it is you who reflects the image in the mirror. Our consciousness creates our experience. And so my invitation to you is to remind yourself of what you know, of what you trust in, of what you have faith in. To put that affirmation, your affirmations up so that you can see them, to help you remember what you know. To do spiritual reading, the kind of thing that inspires you, like listening to the things that other people say, and we go, oh, that's inside of me too. That's what happens when we read the writings of spiritual masters. It gives us words for what we know at our deepest level. Oh, that is the truth. It helps shift our perspective and our thinking. It helps us have faith. And listen deep within to your soul so that you can hear its wisdom rather than the cacophony of noise that is in the outer world. As a result, you will be having greater clarity about what your purpose is at this time in your life, at this time in the world. You will be more present to your own life, more present to your own heart, more present to your own spirit. And in turn, you will be more present to other people's hearts and other people's spirits. And you will be acting as a catalyst for greater peace in this world. And so blessings to all of you as you walk this path of remembering who you are and what you are, remembering the magnificence that you carry within you, and in bringing peace into this world. Blessings to all of you. And so I invite you to join me in an affirmative prayer as we turn our attention from this world of form and all that is going on, and we turn our attention to the absolute, recognizing that there is one absolute presence, and it is a presence of love and wisdom and intelligence. It is a presence of good without measure. It is a presence of opulence and of creativity. It is life itself. And I recognize that this life of the divine is the life that each and every single one of us are living. That each and every single one of us, regardless of what it looks like, are the outpicturing of that presence. We are each that presence here in form. And we right now open ourselves to a greater influx of love and wisdom and peace and goodness. Knowing that regardless of what we see in the world, that presence right now is revealing itself within every single human heart and every single human mind. For we can never be separate or apart from that infinite one, ever. For we are it here in form. And so today I just put my attention on the truth that humanity as a whole right now is being led and guided by listening to their hearts and listening to the wisdom within them themselves. That good is unfolding itself, that there are so many people that are open right now to creative solutions and to the way forward, and that presence is downloading itself right now as creative ideas and as the perfect way forward that serve all of humanity and that serve this planet Earth. And so I release this prayer into that perfect law, knowing that as I put my attention on it, as I open myself to it, that there is a way for it to express through me and through each of us out into this world. And so with a heart filled with thanksgiving, I invite you to join me in saying, "And so it is." Invitations for you. have a couple of invitations for you. One is that we are having our annual meeting on February 23rd as our annual business meeting. I invite all of you to join us for that. We will be talking about what we did this year, as well as making plans for next year, what we want to do as far as outreach, what we want to do is in the way of fundraisers. We will be approving a budget for this coming year, and we will be voting some board members, either re-voting board members that are already in, that are willing to run again. You all received an email this week, I don't know if you read it, or if there's somebody that you want to nominate to be a board member, you are welcome to do that, to talk with me ahead of time, and we will put that on the slate. Pat and Mike are still working with doing outreach in the city of Long Beach with the unhoused. Will you raise your hand? They would love to have you join them if you would like to do that. Our Sunday talks are posted on Monday night on our website and on YouTube. Rebecca? Thank you. We are doing a potluck the day of the annual meeting. It is going to be soup, salad, and bread. So what we did last year is we had 3 people bring soup, and 3 people bring salads, and 3 people bring different kinds of bread, and dessert probably too. It was super fun, so we're going to do that again this year also, so we can eat at our annual meeting. Which will be here after service, yes. Thank you. We invite you to follow us on our social media accounts. They're on that white sheet, and we have prayer support after the service if you would like to have any of our practitioners sit down with you and do a prayer. They are happy to do that. And so I invite you to repeat after me, good fills my life now. I recognize it. I savor it. I own it. I live it. And so it is.